So I'm pretty sure you're not dyslexic and already read the title, and you know exactly what this video is about. And I'm gonna try not to make this your stereotypical, oh, ad blocker is bad, you're killing the internet, you're hurting content creators, yada yada video. I'm gonna try to provide you with a bunch of information and knowledge, and just, you know, let you come up with your own opinion. And one of the first things I want to mention in this video is ad blocker is in fact legal. They're taken to court in Germany, and the judge determined that it's the viewer's right to determine what they want to see on their page. If they don't want an ad, they have a right to block it. They won the lawsuit, and obviously because of the rule of precedent, if one court determines that it's legal, then other companies can't take them to court over the same matter. So pretty much ad blocker is legal, and I don't think many people actually knew about that lawsuit, but it is legal, and I thought I'd start off with that. So once it was deemed legal, one of the first things Google did was they paid them $887 million to be exempt from ad blocker, because obviously Google makes $6 billion annually from ads, so they paid, you know, just under $1 billion to be exempt from ad blocker. They didn't want that to make a dent in their earnings, and that is insane. You know, if Google's willing to toss out that much money, I know they're rich, but that's still a lot of money, then this is a big deal, and that shows you the concern a lot of businesses should have, because it really is cutting a lot of businesses' earnings down by a lot. And you know, the reason the internet's so great is because content is free, and the reason the content is free is because of ads for most websites. Now, some of you may not realize how big of an impact ad blocker actually has. In 2014, there were 140 million people that used ad blocker daily, 140 million active ad blocker users, and on top of that, 50% of people between the age of 18 and 29 said in a poll that they used ad blocker. And to be honest, if ad blocker was not a thing, I'd be making probably an extra $100 to $200 a month. If I'm just being straightforward and honest with you guys, it really does make a huge difference. And a relatively new app called Crystal was released, and if you look, hopefully you can see that it's the #1 paid app. The #1 paid app blocks ads on mobile. That is ridiculous. So companies, you know, there's ad blocker on computers, PCs, so they're not getting, you know, half the money they would from computers, and now they're not getting money from mobile because this is the #1 paid app. Millions upon millions of people have it. This is ridiculous. This is going to make a huge dent in people's earnings from ad revenue. I mean, I'm not just talking about YouTube here. I'm talking about any company. You know, companies that 5 years ago used to make $1 million off of ads, they're probably making $300,000 to $400,000 off of ads. So it's really affecting a lot of people. And you may not think it's a big deal, but this is going to make a dent in a lot of people's paychecks. Like, it really has a huge impact on people. And I hate to be super negative like this, but you know, 100 million plus people are blocking ads on PC. On top of that, the highest paid app is an ad blocker on mobile, and millions of people are blocking ads on that, where it's really just putting a lot of people out of jobs. You know, people make a living off this type of stuff, and by blocking it just so it's more convenient for us, we're really screwing over a lot of people. If we're just being honest, I know that's not what you want to hear. I know ad blocker is convenient, it'll make your page load faster and all, but it really just, it affects people's jobs. It's putting people out of jobs, if we're just being frank. Now, obviously, because I'm a content creator, I'm going to be against ad blocker, but I am going to shed some light on it. And it says if you have this, the ad blocker for mobile, Crystal, that your Safari pages will load 4 times faster, and you'll save 50% on your data plan. And myself personally, I search stuff in my car all the time, and if this saves me 50% on my data plan, I mean, I might even consider paying that $1 for it, because I don't know, like, it sucks that it blocks ads and that it hurts people's income, but at the same time, you're saving 50% on your data plan according to this, and we all know people lie. It's probably like only 30 or 40%, and then it'll also make your pages load 4 times faster. So like, I'm not gonna sit here and condescend to you if you use ad blocker. I understand why you use it, and as long as it's a thing, hundreds of millions of people are gonna use it. I'm just saying, you know, maybe whitelist YouTube, or maybe just, you know, a person you really enjoy on YouTube, watch a couple ads, do something, I don't know. Ad blocker sucks, okay? It sucks. And I understand why people use it. I understand why it's a thing. And as long as it is a thing, people are going to use it, which is why it's just really controversial, and no one knows where the line is to stop. And one of the things that's actually interesting about ad blocker is when they first released their, you know, add-on for Google Chrome, they actually did an ad campaign to get awareness of ad blocker out there. So it's funny how they block ads, but to get their name out there, they actually bought, you know, an ad campaign on Google and paid money to have ads to get their ad blocker out there. Isn't that ironic? You'd wonder too why Google would ever advertise that, how Google would advertise something that would end up costing them $887 million. It's pretty ridiculous, but that's the video. Obviously, like I said, I'm a content creator, I'm against ad blocker, but I understand why you use it, and I don't use it, but I completely understand why you do use it. You know, if there's no way to stop it or put an end to it, people are always going to use it, and it's just a fact. So that's pretty much the video, and meth equals death.